you. Thank you. Moving on to student representatives, Ms. Askew Green. Absent. Ms. Faber.
Present.
Mr. Torres.
Here.
Thank you. And Mr. Nunez.
Present.
Thank you. Madam President, that concludes roll.
Thank you very much. With regard to comments from the board president, we are at that point in our agenda at this time. Just doing a follow-up from our last meeting. At this time, you will see our contracts are moving forward with our teachers. We have investigated some things that from our last meeting, which we'll be talking about as we go on throughout our meeting. With regard to our representatives, we have addressed some things that you guys have brought up. As you see, there was an assembly in some of the buildings, and we're going to continue to work on bringing assemblies to stay closely connected to our students. Also, you'll hear throughout, different things are being fixed and addressed. I was happy to hear about the one-on-ones with regard to laptops that are being handed out across all of our the high school and the middle school with regard to that, because we were having some issues, as students had brought up, with regard to not having enough laptops. So at this time, we did get some help with that. So students should be okay with laptops. And with regard to our student reps, I always want you to follow up, and anything that we state here that you feel like, hey, this is not being done, please feel free to let us know that it's not being done or things that need to be corrected. We appreciate, and I want to say we appreciate everything that was stated in our last meeting. We appreciate the support that came from our meetings, and also with hearing our student voices. I think that besides the teachers and everything, but hearing our student voices is key. So I just want to follow up with that and just let everyone know that things are being addressed. Now, I do want to say this. There was a statement made that there was an email that was sent out stating that certain things would be cut. We have not received that email. There has never been any email sent to me or any board member sitting here showing that there was proof that an email was sent out. And what I want to say is that no matter what, we're going to trust our students and what they say. But what we feel like in that situation, it was like kind of whispered down the lane. It was hearsay. People heard it and they drug it. And it happens. That's what the way of the world. But what I will say is that we always want to try to get to the facts, what's really going on. And that starts with you guys, because you guys are at the ground level. You see everything every single day. And I just want to go back. If something ever comes up or there's some type of email sent, please forward to us to let us know. But at this time, I investigated, I looked, I asked board of directors, did they receive any emails? We had parents in the back saying emails were sent out. We have no emails stating that things were going to be cut. Prom and all these things, we did not receive anything. So I just want to state and follow up with everyone to let everyone know. And we want to bring solutions, and we're going to continue to bring solutions. So I want to thank everybody for that meeting, because it was an eye opener, and I appreciate it. With that being said, we're going to move on to Dr. Becote's statements.
Good evening, board members. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Tonight, I will be sharing a few updates, and I'm going to share my screen in 1 second. All right, we do have a few updates tonight, and I do want to thank those who have joined us. I do want to share some information about a portrait of a graduate. We do have a few special thanks, and we also have information pertaining to district and community announcements. As most of you know, we have been implementing the portrait of a graduate. Our first attribute is Driven Achiever, and we started out by visiting a classroom at Alden Elementary. And when I say we started out, the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee members are joining me in our visits to various schools. So you'll see here on October the 9th, we were at Alden. We've also spent some time at the middle school on October the 23rd. And you'll see the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee member there as well. And students were engaged. And as a part of this process, the students in the classroom We did ask them to complete a I Promise pledge. And so hopefully that information will be useful as the students go throughout the school year. You'll see here that we have the other attributes listed, and we will continue to visit schools throughout our district, highlighting each of the monthly attributes. And again, I want to thank the Superintendent Student Advisory Council for their efforts. As always, I want to highlight teachers who have submitted requests for support. Schools listed and the project teacher name listed beside those schools. So I do want to thank those teachers for their efforts. I also want to give a special thank you to our principals. I believe that they are our unsung heroes. A lot of times we do not realize the effort and the attention that is provided to our schools. So if we could just give our principals a round of applause for their efforts, and I want to celebrate them. And I will be meeting with them on this Thursday to continue that celebration at our monthly principals meeting. For district and community announcements, I hope everyone takes advantage of the Penwood High School College and Career Fair that is scheduled for Thursday, October the 30th. It is from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and it will be held in the Penwood High School Gymnasium, and everyone in our community is welcome. You will see the list of colleges listed to your right that will be in attendance. We also want to say congratulations to our cross-country team, boys and girls, on being the Delval champions. So congratulations, young people, and thank you for your efforts and continue to do great things. And we also want to thank BMX. They currently do a No Hate High School tour, and this was conducted on October the 24th at Penwood High School. And it really talks about kindness, inclusion, and standing up against bullying. And the high school implements an SEL day throughout the year at various times. And I have witnessed some of their activities, and I want to say thank them for their leadership in this effort. Also, October the 27th through the 31st is Red Ribbon Week. And schools around our district are doing things like spirit activities and walks. And so this is a national drug prevention awareness campaign, which encourages students to make good choices. So thank you, leaders and students and community members and family members, for participating in those activities. And I believe lastly, I do want to highlight the American Education Week that's coming up November the 17th through the 21st. We are partnering with WPEA for the second year in a row to make sure that we celebrate what is actually happening in our schools as well as in our individual classrooms. And so this is a time for us to honor our educators as well as our teachers. And so this is something that we're looking forward to doing November the 17th through the 21st. And central office members will be a part of supporting our principals in schools during one of the days during that week. Madam President, that concludes my update for this evening at this time, and I will address any questions that board members may have.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. B. Coates. Board of Directors, do you have any questions, Board of Directors, about his report? Okay, thank you so much. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda from October 27th, our board business meeting of school board directors?
Second.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the board business meeting from September 29th, 2025? Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the committee meeting of the whole from October 20th, 2025, which was our board business meeting of school board business meeting?
Second.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, hearing or seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right. So with that being said, one thing I wanted to talk to my student reps and say one thing too. I said earlier in our last meeting, I would take time to come over to the high school for sure and visit. I'm just waiting for my teacher schedule to free up, but I will be over there to check at and talk to some of the students as well, at the high school, middle school, and visiting elementary schools as well. So usually when I don't have school, those are times where I can come out and visit our students as well. So I just wanted to update you on that. All right, so with that being said, remarks from student representatives. We're going to start with Ms. Morgan Askew Green, our 12th grade representative. She's not here. All right. And we're next going to go to Eli Faber, our 11th grade representative.
Good
I love the
evening.
hair color.
Thank you. Good evening. I wanted to update that the bus for Aston Votech has been like on time, like this entire month, so, or like just about on time, so it's all good. Situation's been fixed.
Love to hear that.
The lunches, however, are an issue. Students are cutting, which like I'm working on with my assistant principal, Miss Brown. And it's taking way too long for other students to get their lunch. And the reason is because that there are so many more kids in the building this year and then compared to last year, and because the building is at like above max
Capacity. So you're saying people are not being able to get served?
Well, okay, if they get lunch, like I was one of the last people served like one day this month, but I had like, I don't know, 5 minutes to rush to eat and then go to my next class.
And you can't take it out of the
We're
cafeteria,
not
right?
allowed to take food out of the
Okay, thank you. What was this happening earlier too in September?
cafeteria. Yeah,
Same issues?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
it's mainly, yeah, it's just a lot of people that need to be fed.
Okay, no, I'm asking because this is the first time we're hearing it in this meeting.
Right.
So, it's not good, but what I'm saying is that Ms. Hoff just asked, have we had an increase of more students coming in the last month? But you're saying it started
Compared to last year.
compared to last year. Got you. Yeah, there's,
Well, there's
Something
I
going on.
noticed definitely there's a lot more kids in my lunch than there were last year.
okay,
And there's students are reporting same thing for other lunches.
okay,
So there's definitely some sort of increase somewhere.
somewhere or a change in schedule or something. Okay, thank you so
And the
much.
schedule is the same.
Okay,
And then there's various issues throughout the building that I have reported to Miss Brown, such as bathrooms, like ones near the gym, have rust, both boys and girls. The boys bathroom have stalls that don't lock properly. There's like a few rooms, like at least one room that has mold. There's the girls' bathroom at the first floor main entrance has a flooding issue, and that's for like the minor like bathroom issues. There's probably others, but that's what I was told about.
okay. All right, thank you so much for that. And Darnell is here, who is our facilities, in charge of our facilities. So
Right, and I just told Ms. Brown. So
Yep,
she's probably
they'll
working
be-
on it.
following up on that, and please report back next meeting to let us know if you didn't hear anything, because it may not be resolved right away, especially with the plumbing issue. Hopefully it will be, but just please follow up with us and let us know. All right.
Mhm.
Do you have more to share today?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
A few more. There's an issue with like at least the first floor rooms with heating, especially since it's getting colder outside. Some students are struggling now with like the heat.
So first it was hot, now it's
Now it's too cold
Now it's
because
too
there's
cold.
no heating, which I don't know when the heating gets turned on, but that's like at least the first floor rooms are too cold.
got you.
There was
Ms. Roberts had a question for
I
you.
have a question.
What's up?
Did you mention the lock on the girl last year or what?
I probably did. I mentioned it multiple times last year, or at least
The locks weren't working.
that or the boys' restroom.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of different lock issues in the bathroom last year.
Okay,
There was a issue with desks being too small, but that's currently being fixed. There's an interest meeting for theater, yay, at Green Avenue Campus Auditorium at 3 p.m. and stage crew is very much needed. And then leading out on a good note, students have been finding the college visits that the high school gets very useful. They just wish that we were able to tour the campuses as well, instead of just representatives coming to our school and talking.
So to follow up on that, there are opportunities for us to, but also I want to say we got to push back with parents too. Parents have to help out with that. So like when we're doing tours, yes, schools can do tours, but parents also have to align themselves with a schedule with schools to be able to take their kids to visits. Like I think that we are getting to the point, yes, where responsibility is on our schools to help out with that, but we got to also push back and say, with regard to money wise, we got to push back and say, hey, parents, you got to help us in some way as well. Like we are providing that. I know at one point we did some HBCU tours and we did other tours as well. So we will continue to push that, but I also will speak out and say, parents, we need some help with that as well.
Yeah, but on the other hand, though, we get like people to come in almost, I would say almost every day. I haven't looked at the schedule myself, but like I see my classmates going out of class all the time to go see those. So those are very popular.
Good. Thank you for letting us know that, and we'll keep them, our counselors are, keep them coming. Thank you so much. All right, next we will move on to our 10th grade representative, Mr. Ishmael Torres.
Good evening, everyone. So many important issues and concerns were raised at our last meeting. Some of them might take a lot of time to get resolved, but hopefully they will be resolved. But in the meantime, tonight I would like to make note of 2 areas that have been addressed. And there's also a couple other things that I would like to talk about. So first is that now every student in the high school has a working Chromebook, and I have also personally received one, which I thought was pretty good. And then second, not all clubs are like back up and running, but a majority of the after school clubs have been reinstated. But also I would like to add to what she said. I have seen that in the lunchroom, there's like the lines are like really long and they like take up like, because we only have like really 30 minutes to eat, right? And the lines like they take like 20 minutes for them to like even get like halfway down. So some kids probably don't have time to really finish their meal and like eat. And like she said, you can't take it out in the lunchroom. So I don't know how that's gonna get fixed, but I just don't think that that's right, that they don't really have time to eat. And then also in the basement boys bathroom, like most of the doors, they don't lock. And one of the faucets is like water pressure is really like way too high, so it splashes everywhere. Try to turn it on. So
Okay.
yeah. And then lastly, next week the entire 10th grade is scheduled to go to the Hedgerow Theater to see the Edgar Allan Poe play. And this like doesn't the students don't have to pay for it because of a special donor, which I think is really nice. And
Mr. Torres, can I ask you to raise your voice a little bit?
okay, like next week, the entire 10th grade like can go to the Hedgerow Theater to see the Edgar Allan Poe play.
Okay.
And this is because a donor like paid for us to go,
Okay.
which I thought was pretty nice. And that's really all I had to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Also, we're going to look into the lunch situation. Anything could happen. It could be logistics. It could be short staff. So many different things. For preparation. So we'll definitely work on that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your report. Yeah. Got you. All right. Next, we're going to go to our new representative, Mr. Steven Nunez, our 9th grade rep. Mr. Nunez, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Quick update. Quick update. Since the last meeting, I spoke about the time-consuming search procedures of the book bags. Principal Curry did make a change to it. We get like little late slips. So if we're in line, let's say 7:25, and we're considered late by 7:30, if the search procedures make us late, they give us a slip that we're allowed to give to our teachers, and that makes us not late and stuff like that. So that's a plus. The only concern that I have so far is, along with what Ms. Faber said about the bathrooms, the boys' bathroom on the main floor, one of the stall doors don't work, and the other one, if I'm not mistaken, it's like jammed, like it doesn't move. Then it's also like the bathrooms, like the stall, like the toilet and stuff is like dirty, like it's always dirty. Like I don't know what student, be in there, but
Yeah.
I've often seen like trash bags over and stuff like that as well.
Mhm.
Other than that though, the way that they're running the school is perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. Thank you very much for letting us know that that issue with regard to the holdup for security has been addressed, and I'm so glad Principal Curry's on that. With regard to the locks and the bathroom issues, once again, our facilities director is here, so we'll make sure those concerns are being addressed, and please follow up next month. Same thing. If you see the same things, we're writing down, taking notes. We're trying to get these actively addressed. But yes, we appreciate the feedback, and hopefully we can get the concerns addressed.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving right along. There are no special awards tonight. Are there any public comments at this time for any agenda items? Anything that is on the agenda? Do you have any comments? If you do, we would like for you to come to the podium, state your first name, your last name, the borough you live in, and then you have the floor. If there's on any agenda items, anything on the agenda.
There's one hand up.
There's a hand online, okay.
It's tax.
Ms. Tax. All right, Ms. Tax, thank you very much. There's no one in person that has a comment, so you have the floor at this time.
Hello, I'm Melinda Tax, PLC teacher. I have a comment on the agenda items where I see that they were paying supplemental salaries. I want to thank everybody. I did get my supplemental contract for soccer. Our season's over tomorrow, and I got it. I think I got it on Friday. But I was just wondering, my public comment would be on the agenda item, when will the sports be approved? I see other supplementals in some sports, but when will the other coaches be approved?
Approval will most likely occur once we receive a name from the hiring manager. And I believe for athletics, it is Mr. Leon Howard. So once that information is provided to Human Resources, that information then goes onto the appropriate board agenda based upon the timing of receipt.
Okay,
Did that answer your question, Ms. Tax?
well, yes, but Leon had given our name way before and we've just been waiting. So I'm just wondering, like, we already accepted the coaching position, all the things, and now the season's basically over. I'm just wondering.
I would say that if it's not on this agenda, it should be on November's.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
Yeah, I think.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Tax, and thank you, Dr. Bicos, for your response. Next, we're going to be moving on to our communications. Ms. Matthews, do we have any communications?
Madam President, there are no communications at this time.
Okay, now we're going to go to our committee reports, starting with our community relations agenda. A1, American Education Week proclamation. This motion is to approve the 2025 American Education Week proclamation. As you see in the back, it shows our American Education Week proclamation, whereas public schools are the backbone of our democracy, providing young people with the tools they'll need to maintain our nation's precious values of freedom, civility, and equality. And whereas by equipping our young Americans with both practical skills and broader intellectual abilities, schools give them hope for and access to a productive future. And whereas education employees be the custodians, teachers, bus drivers, coaches, librarians, administrators, instructional assistants, nurses, counselors, secretaries, or board members work tirelessly to serve our children and communities with care and professionalism. And whereas American Education Week presents all Americans with an opportunity to celebrate public education and honor individuals who are making a difference in ensuring that every child receives a quality education. And whereas schools are community bridges, bridging together adults and children, educators and volunteers, business leaders and elected officials in a common enterprise. Now, therefore, the Board of Directors of the William Penn School District does hereby proclaim November 18th to the 27th, 2025 as the annual observance of American Education Week, proclaimed by the 27th day of October 2025. A2, young men and women, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Oh, at the end, yes. Thank you. A2, Young Men and Women in Charge, 20th Annual College and Career Expo. I'm so excited about this, and I want to push that parents and students really take advantage of this. The Young Men and Women in Charge will host its 20th Annual College and Career Expo on November 8th, 2025 at B. Reed Henderson High School, which is 400 Montgomery Avenue in Westchester, PA. From 9 a.m. to 2, representatives from colleges and universities, as well as corporate and community partners, will be available to interact one-on-one with students and parents, parent guardians, and provide information. Topics covered by the college and university representatives are being a first-generation college student, college essays, FAFSA, living on your own, and goal setting. Topics covered by corporate and business partners are STEM careers, HR careers, and career readiness. Also, topics covered by community partners is financial literacy and social services. Right now, young men and women in charge, they're doing some great things. I just spoke with Rick Roberts the other night. He is really rolling, this organization is rolling with bringing in different science advocates for our youth, and also the colleges. The type of colleges that they are bringing at this expo are Ivy League colleges that normally you don't see on a regular daily basis. So I will encourage and just try to get people to really, really come out. There are different careers that you may not see at our college event, but you would come here and see it. So I just want to push that, because young men, women in charge, they use our facility, and we partner with them. A lot of our youth are a part of what they're doing. So I just want to push and advocate and ask people to attend. That concludes my community relations report at this time. Are there any, well, first, can I get a second? Because we have a motion for the resolution.
Second. Well, you have to first, Dennison.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to. Second.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? No? Are hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, next we're going to go to our next committee is our Education Committee, led by our chair, Ms. Valerie Cook Henry.
Good evening, everyone.
B1, expulsion waiver, and the recommendation is the following students are recommended for expulsion and subsequent placement in the personalized learning community. The expulsion timeframe for the 2025 through 2026 school term is detailed below. If the student has not already successfully graduated from the school district, information detailing the reasons is on file in the student's office, in the student service office. B2, out-of-state field trip, and the motion is to approve out-of-state field trip for students grades K through 12. And Bell Avenue will be going to Rowan University, October the 30th. And the 5th and 6th grade students will visit the campus for a historical tour and seasonal events. B3, in-state field trip. And the motion is to approve East Lansdowne visit to Milky Way Farms in Chester Springs, PA on October 30th. And they will receive a guided tour about farm animals such as cow, calves, goats, sheep, and chickens, and foods the animals provide for people to eat. Also includes a hayride to pumpkin fields to pick pumpkins. Lastly, B4, which is an addition to the agenda, is a release and settlement agreement, and the motion is to approve the release and settlement agreement negotiated between the William Penn School District and the parent of student as indicated, and the source of funding is special education. Madam Chair, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you very, very much. At this time, oh, yeah, thank you.
Second.
All right. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns at this time? All right, hearing or seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right. Next, we're going to go to our Personnel Committee agenda read by our chair, Ms. Wadia Ivory.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. C2 resignations. C3 appointments. C5 leaves of absence. 6 mentors. C7 miscellaneous appointments. C8 tenure awards. C11 modifications to previously approved items. C12 additions to the agenda. And Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ivory.
Second.
I can't say it. Y'all, I'm waiting for y'all. I'm waiting for y'all. Second heard, okay. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, hearing or seeing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Ms. Kate, I really appreciate that.
All those again?
Super.
All right.
Very welcome.
Next, we are going to hear from our chair from our property committee. As you see, there is no property agenda, but I always give openings to our chairs to definitely speak and put information out about their committee. Mr. Tong, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. You are correct. There is no agenda this evening, but I want to invite everyone to our property committee meeting that will occur this November 11th, 2025 at 6:30 Teams. Please come out. We have some things to discuss. Please take a look online for our agenda, and we'll see you on November 11th. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tong. Next, we're going to go to our Budget and Finance Committee agenda, read by our chair, Ms. Jen Hall, who's been getting it. Been a lot going on over there.
Thanks, Ms. Boykins. Budget wishes there wasn't so much going on. E1 is your treasurer. All right, E1 is your treasurer's report. E2 is your list of bills. And that is all. Is this where I'm going to read the
Yes.
resolution?
Yes, and I want,
You
yeah,
can, but let's get a second first.
Okay.
okay,
Second.
all right. Oh, should I say any, should we vote on it or just let it go?
Now we're doing comments, questions, so this will go in the comment section.
Got you. Comments, questions, concerns, and here we go.
Thank you, everyone. I am here. This did not make it to the budget. We just received it this morning. But this is a resolution by the Board of Directors of the William Penn School District urging the Pennsylvania General Assembly to end the budget impasse. This is just being read into the minutes. We can't vote on it, obviously, because we didn't get on the agenda. Whereas the Pennsylvania General Assembly has not yet enacted a state budget for the 25-26 fiscal year, resulting in a budget impasse that has persisted over 100 days. And whereas the impasse has withheld $3 billion in education funding statewide, forcing school districts to borrow funds, deplete reserves, delay essential services, and consider program cuts that directly impact students, educators, and families. Whereas the Commonwealth Court has ruled Pennsylvania's school funding system unconstitutional, and the state has a responsibility to continue addressing the inequities raised by the court. Whereas the school districts are legally required to adopt annual budgets by June 30th and operate with fiscal responsibility and transparency, while the state legislature has failed to meet its own budget obligations. Whereas the ongoing impasse threatens the stability of public education, undermines the ability of districts to plan for the future, puts current and future educational initiatives and capital improvements at risk, and places undue financial burdens on local taxpayers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the William Penn School District Board of Directors, as a member of the Pennsylvania School Board Association, PSBA, calls upon the Pennsylvania General Assembly and the governor to immediately pass a complete and responsible state budget that, one, fully funds public education, including basic, special, and career and technical education. Two, releases all appropriate federal funds owed to school districts without further delay. Three, honors the Commonwealth Court's mandate to address funding adequacy and equity. 4, establishes a process by which any interest and fees accrued due to borrowing throughout the impasse is repaid to district. 5, includes meaningful cyber charter funding reform by establishing a uniform statewide tuition rate for students attending a cyber charter school. And 6, demonstrates bipartisan cooperation and leadership in the interest of Pennsylvania students and communities. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution can be transmitted to the governor of Pennsylvania, the leadership of the Pennsylvania State House and Senate, and the district's elected state legislators. Are there any comments from the Board of School Board Directors on this resolution?
So I do want to just make a comment to the public. First and foremost, I don't know if everybody heard, but Jen stated this just came out today. So this is why you don't see this in the agenda. And we wanted to present it to everybody because all school districts are trying to figure out what to do. So in this situation, what happens is we put resolutions out to try to move the government. Right now, everybody knows we're under a government shutdown. And what we're trying to do as a board is be as transparent as possible. Next, you're going to hear from Dr. B. Coates. We're going to be, and you're going to hear from Jen too, but I need everybody to understand really what's going on here. Like what you're about to hear next is from Dr. B. Coates. It may disturb some of you, but I need y'all to understand that we're in a situation where our hands are physically tied. There's nothing else we can do with regard to, we cannot keep borrowing money. If we keep borrowing money from banks, that means taxpayers will have to continue to pay more money. We already know that people are losing their foreclosing on their homes because they can't cover taxes. You know, we are in a situation that we have never seen before. No one sitting here has ever been in a situation. The last government shutdown was 35 days. We're all way in 100+ days now, meaning things are getting, you know, you have a savings, you have an amount of money that you have to use. And we spend a lot of money to keep our district open monthly. You know, our district averages almost close to $6 million a month to keep us running. So I want to be transparent because we are really in a situation where it's like when we talk about supplementals, right? We have to cut some supplementals to be able to say, okay, we need our kids, we need to be able to pay our teachers. We need to be able to keep our lights on. No district has ever faced that. A few years ago, we tried to get in front of this. The state owes us $28 million from
A year.
A year. $28 million from our fair funding lawsuit. We seen it was an issue where you see smoke, there's fire, right? So we tried to get in front of it. All of us got together with other school board members, other districts, and we sued the state. We won. So now we're at a point is we're not getting our $28 million a year from the state extra of what they owe us. And now we're to the point where they have not passed the budget. So when we say month to month, we are literally almost living 2 to 3 months at a time. So I just want everybody to understand, and I try to put it in the basic, simplest terms so everybody can understand. Your savings gets low, you know, if you don't have things coming in. And we cannot continue just to depend on our taxpayers either. So I just wanted to say those few words because this is, to me, it's such a disgusting situation that we're in right now. For the people that sit above us, you know, for the people, and I want to be clear, our state reps, they help us. Our governors, we are politically affiliated, but it's people higher than them that have this say so. And things are not going our way right now. And I just need everybody to understand what we're about to face. I don't know, and I'm not trying to scare anyone, but we are in some hard times. You know, the government is supposed to provide the money to have us keep our doors open. They're obligated, but we are obligated to keep the doors open. How can we keep the doors open if they're not funding us properly? So I just want everybody to kind of put that in their forefront of their minds to understand what's going on. Jen or Dr. B. Coates, do you have anything feedback to say on this matter?
Yes, Ms. Boykins. First, I want to start off by saying I want to definitely thank Senator Williams, Senator Kearney, Speaker McClinton, Representative Young, Representative Boyd, and Representative Carey. Those individuals have stood by us and have advocated for us at the State House to no avail. And about a month ago, I believe, or maybe 2 months ago, Ms. Hoff asked the question, Dr. B. Coates, how long will our funding last us until without a state budget? And at the time that the question was asked, I indicated that it was October. So October is now almost over. So I asked the staff in the budget office to identify for me or to project what the expenses would be given the current local taxes that we've collected, because that's really the only source of income that we have, plus the loans that we've taken out to fund our district. And it was indicated to me that if there's no state budget, we will be able to continue to operate and fund our district through the end of January. So if there's no state budget by the end of January, we will definitely be in uncharted territory. And I would say to you that we're already in uncharted territory. In my over 25 years in public education, I've never worked for a state that has not been able to approve a budget for a school district. And so I feel as though it's my professional responsibility to make sure that this information is shared with our public and with our board. Again, this is not to frighten anyone. It is to be transparent and to be upfront with you about the situation that we find ourselves in. I have had conversations with the Law Center. That is the entity that helped us in our lawsuit. And so they are aware of the situation as well. The other thing I want to share, and I want to make perfectly clear, is that this situation that we find ourselves in does not have a negative impact on the tentative agreement and the final stages that we're in with solidifying a contract with WPEA. So teachers and WPEA members, I want you to hear me loudly and clearly. This does not negatively impact the contract that's currently in its final agreement stages, meaning that we are still going to provide the 3% increase that has been indicated and that we budgeted for. And that will go back and be retroactive to July, to the appropriate time, starting this fiscal year, July 1. So I just want to make sure that no one leaves this meeting with the indication that it's going to be a negative impact to what will be hopefully agreed upon sooner rather than later. So that's what I wanted to share with the board. We will continue to work with our legislators in an effort to hopefully try to move the dial. We will continue to work with the Law Center so that we do not find ourselves in this situation in January. I am hopeful that the state will have an approved budget sooner rather than later. I'll try to address any questions that board members may have for me at this time.
I don't think we have questions for you at this time, but
Thank you, Dr. B. Coates. For me, I just have to restate that this is a legislative problem. This is not a problem in these four walls. This is a legislative problem where your electeds in your state and your federal government have chosen not to do a budget. For a district that relies on 55% of their funding from the state, it's untenable. But I will say that no superintendent on the planet should have to spend time worrying about whether their state passed a budget or not. There is real educational work to do. I resent that this becomes work for the William Penn School District when other folks aren't doing their work. That's all. Thank you.
so today I spoke to Dr. B. Coates and we're trying to get solution based, right? So in my eyes, it's like, we're trying to think about what things we can do. And a part of me, like, I want to go and put a video together for our William Penn School District and our students. And we need to go out to the Sixers. We need to go out to the Eagles. We're going to have to go and ask. I'm gonna tell you all this, in my mind, as I'm thinking forward, we're gonna have to put a campaign, something together to advocate for our kids. I don't know what it's gonna take, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, I'm the youngest on the board, and in my mind, we gotta go get the money. I don't know how. We're open to suggestions. You can email Dr. B Coach, you can email myself, but what I'm telling is to my student representatives, we gotta figure out a way. I don't care if we gotta go out and email every celebrity, we have to. Whatever we need to do, we have to be able to keep our district open. And we're at that point. And I'm talking to our youth right now because you guys know how much social media can be effective. And we're going to have to push. And I can't stress this enough to you. I've never been in this situation. And all I can say is we got to go find the money. I don't care who we have to email and send videos out to, but we're going to have to figure out a way. We're going to have to go deeper than we've ever went before with reaching out friends, networks. That's the only way I feel like, because we don't know when this is going. We don't know when they're going. Well, we're hearing, people are hearing different things. We don't even know if a budget is going to be passed. So I just want y'all to know, and it's not just William Penn School District. The district down the street is dealing with, every district is dealing with this. So I want everyone to understand, you know, a parent can't pick their kid up and say, let's go to another public school, because every public school is dealing with this situation. Even it's eventually going to hit other schools as well. When we talk about the private sector, we talk about the charter sector, but the public is going to hit it first. We're going to feel it first. So I'm just kind of just giving you my thoughts, and we'll talk more. But thank you, Dr. B. Coates, and thank you, Jen. And Jen, I just want to thank you for putting your ear to the ground and trying to get all the information for us. And, you know, she's been emailing all week about different things that we can do, and also the resolution, and just keeping us abreast. And in her seat, like, budget and finance is in a tough situation right now, but she's doing the best with keeping us aware of what's going on so we can follow up. All right. Any other comments, questions, concerns anybody else have? All right, moving right along. Next, we're going to go to our, call a vote. Sorry about that. Yeah, you did. Thomas Kern, that was done. All those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right, next, we're going to go to our policy committee agenda read by our chair, Ms. Yvette Roberts.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam President. Our first F1, first reading of policies 209.2, which is diabetes management, and 823, opioid antagonist. The motion is to approve the first reading of the William Penn School District policies, which is 209.2 and 823. F2, second reading of policies 113.2, 202, 237, and 254. 113.1, point 2 is behavior support. Policy 202, eligibility of non-residents. Policy 237, electronic device. And policy 254, educational opportunity for military children. The motion is to approve the second reading and the adoption of William Penn School District, the 4 policies listed. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there? Are there any?
Oh, boy.
Are there any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, hearing or seeing none. Next, we're going to go to our solicitor's report. Oh, all those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right, next is our solicitor's report.
Just to report, Madam President, that there was an executive session last Monday, October 20th, to discuss both labor relations and personnel issues.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we're going to hear from our committee reports with regard to our Delaware County Community College. Mr. Wright is not here today, so we're going to skip that update. And then next, we're going to go to our Delaware County Intermediate Unit update given by our chair, Ms. Wadia Ivory.
Hello. Okay. Our board communications for the month for our October 10th, 2025 meeting at the Delaware County Intermediate Unit from the Office of the Executive Director. They held a professional development partnership with Harvard University. In attendance, they had over 48 superintendents from Bucks, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties to make a significant regional collaboration focused on advancing leadership capacity in complex educational and political climates. Delaware County was well represented with superintendents participating from DCIU, Chester Upland, Garnet Valley, Radnor, Haverford, Southeast Delco, Upper Darby, William Penn School District, and Wallingford Swarthmore School Districts. The seminar provided an in-depth exploration of the evolving role of superintendents as civic and political leaders in an increasingly polarized environment. It was facilitated by Harvard faculty, and the program emphasized that today's superintendents must skillfully blend educational expertise with political acumen to navigate divisive climates, strengthen public trust, and ensure equitable student outcomes. It was held. The faculty introduced a framework on political leadership in the superintendency, which guides leaders in developing the knowledge, skills, and dispositions needed to lead effectively within today's political charge context. And the framework operates across 3 domains: the micro, self-awareness and identity; the meso, local community and district engagement; and the macro, state and national political context. And within this structure, participants examined 5 essential leadership competencies: visioning, communicating, political mapping, mobilizing, and relationship building. And each competency was explored through case studies, reflective exercises, and small group discussions that prompted leaders to consider how they might strengthen communication across differing viewpoints and foster civic unity through authentic engagement. Also, the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commissions released a proposed guidance document concerning the use of personal care assistants, PCAs, of how they would be used to access public accommodations for outside entities such as the amusement parks, theaters, and other venues. And the central issue addressed in this guidance is whether operators of such public accommodations may charge admission fees for PCAs whose presence is necessary to accommodate an individual with a disability. The guidance has potential relevance because schools are responsible for ensuring that students with disabilities received the PCA support they need, not only in the classroom, but also in extracurricular, non-academic, and community-based activities. Act 85 of 2016 and PDE debt service intercept procedures amended Pennsylvania's fiscal code to authorize the Pennsylvania Department of Education to make direct debit service payments known as intercept payments on behalf of the school districts during the state budget impasse. The law ensures that when the Commonwealth's budget is delayed and state subsidy payments are not released on schedule, PDE may use Commonwealth funds to cover district scheduled bond or loan payments. And this safeguard prevents potential defaults and protects school districts' credit ratings. The PDE sent an initial communication to all school districts, superintendents, and business managers in August regarding the collection of debt service information in preparation for possible intercept payments. A follow-up reminder was issued on October 6th, reiterating that districts unable to make upcoming debt service payments due to cash flow issues must provide specific documentation to PDE in order to initiate the intercept process. In summary, the Act 85 serves as a financial protection mechanism for school districts during state budget impasses. Scholarship opportunities, America 250 PA. I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. In celebration of America's 250th anniversary, America 250 PA, the Commonwealth's official commission commemorating the nation's semi-quincentennial, has launched the Semiquin Scholarship Program to honor Pennsylvania's enduring legacy of educational excellence. This program will award $250,000 in scholarships to high school seniors across Pennsylvania who plan to attend an accredited college. The application, a total of 25 scholarships of $10,000 each, will be distributed across America 250 PA's 6 regions, with up to 12 scholarships designated for students attending community colleges and up to 13 for those attending post-secondary institutions. The applications will be accepted from September 16th through January 31st, 2026, followed by a review period through mid-March. And then the award notifications will be issued by March 30th, 2026, with public announcements and a recognition luncheon to take place in April in Harrisburg. This initiative reflects Pennsylvania fostering civic values and higher learning opportunities for future generations. Another achievement for the IU, the NCLEX PN achievement, the DCIU Practical Nursing Program. They were happy to and proud to report that its recent National Council licensure examination results reflecting the commitment to preparing students for successful careers in nursing. They were able to hold students that passed the exam for the first time test takers with an 88.73% for the test period from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th of this year. The DCIU PNP had 22 additional graduates this past year as compared to previous years who took the NCLEX and PN exam. Those results demonstrate that the program continues to significantly exceed the Pennsylvania required pass rate of 80% of first-time test takers. And the maintenance of the high pass rate is due to the continued implementation of rigorous coursework, access to advanced simulation technology, and our dedicated faculty who provide individualized support and mentorship to those students. So that is a huge win. Staffing updates. Since September 22nd of 2025, HR has received 101 applications and have successfully hired 12 of those applicants. One of those positions being for our executive director. Outreach to the community, the IU has teamed up with Marple Public Library to deliver an educational cybersecurity presentation for seniors, which occurred on October 9th. For private and non-public schools, the enrollment PNPE requirement is supporting the private and non-public schools across Delaware County in the enrollment PNPE enrollment requirement, and the submission is based upon the October 1st pupil enrollment at the school and differentiates Pennsylvania residents and those who reside out of state. So only PA residents are eligible for Act 89 auxiliary services through the DCIU, and the funding for the Act 89 is based upon the enrollment number of residents at the school. The STEM statement of work, the Teaching and Learning Department have been diligently planning out this year's STEM statement of work for the Pennsylvania Department of Education. And this work allows the DCIU to provide a wide range of resources, experiences, and opportunities to the educators and students of Delaware County. This year's focus will be on the continued implementation of the STEEL standards, computer science and computational thinking, and student-centered learning. On November 4th, the DCIU Teaching and Learning Division will host a series of professional learning sessions for educators across Delaware County as part of the countywide in-service day. And the trainings will address current district needs and educational trends with topics ranging from math, literacy, STEM instruction to financial literacy, inclusion, and educational technology. Job alike sessions for school psychologists and nurses, along with targeted sessions for paraprofessionals and speech language pathologists will also be offered. And we look forward to welcoming educators and support staff from across the county for this collaborative day of professional growth. The annual Adapted Art Show will take place for the Teaching and Learning Division's Assistant Technology Team is excited to host the 4th annual Adapted Art Show, taking place on December 4th, 2025 at our Morton building. This special event celebrates the creativity and expression of students ages K through 22 with disabilities across Delaware County, showcasing their artwork, including paintings, drawings, sculptures, and photography. And the districts were notified at the start of the school year and have until mid-November to submit student artwork for display. And we look forward to inspiring evening highlighting those talents and perspectives of our exceptional student artists. On October 10th, the Student Coalitions launched, bringing together 3 student groups from across the county. The 3 groups continue to be Dignity and Belonging, Future Educators, and Artificial Intelligence. And the purpose was to reconnect and allow returning members to welcome new students to continue building leadership and collaboration opportunities. And let's see. A countywide job alike meeting was held their monthly countywide Job Alike meeting for special education directors and pupil service directors across Delaware County to collaborate and receive important updates from key partner agencies. And this session provided an opportunity for district leaders to strengthen cross-agency communication and align practices supporting students with diverse needs. Early intervention supports in students and families. In August, the Early Intervention Department celebrated the achievements of students transitioning from preschool into kindergarten with their home districts. For students enrolled in early childhood special education, specialized classrooms at the Marple Education Center, Aston, and Folcroft Early Childhood Center, this annual graduation event marked the completion of their time with the DCIU Early Intervention Program. And early childhood education, the professional development Head Start staff were together on Tuesday, September 23rd for professional development session. And the topics were custody, paperwork, learning to read and understand it, health, nutrition, training, and behavior has meaning part 2. They gathered at St. George for that day and had a successful professional development day. And Madam President, that concludes my report for the DCIU.
Well, thank you very much.
It
You
was
know,
lengthy.
I'm really happy all this is going on. We pay the DCIU a lot of money and we work with them, and I'm happy that they helped us out with the Chromebooks. That was an awesome thing, and thank you for your report. They're having PD on election day.
Well, there are several districts that are open on election day. So the
No,
DCIU is
yeah.
providing, so they are providing, some districts are utilizing them for the professional development days.
All righty then. Any other comments, questions, concerns from any of the board of directors? All right, hearing or seeing none, we're going to go to Ms. Hoff, who is going to give us our Delaware County Legislative Council. Let's hear it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Boykins. As chair of the Delaware County Legislative Group, you can guess what we talked about, right? Funding. I'll just let you know that the House and Senate are in session today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then they come back the 17th and 18th and 19th of November. Of course, they can be called back to vote on the budget at any time, but right now, those are their work days. Do you wish you had a job that had 3 days of going to employment this month in November? So we talked about the budget. There was this very interesting graph that I wanted to talk to folks about. Let me find it really quick. I just had it here. Anyway, I'll go through the federal. U.S. Department of Education has ended the National Blue Ribbon Schools program. As you know, because of the federal shutdown, we are not getting our Title I IDA monies, and any grant making that they had wanted to push out is now being delayed. We did that. So bills. During all of this, very few new laws are being made. There's very few edits being made. There's 2 about curriculum. One is a credit-bearing firefighting and EMT training class. And then another bill, 1877, would establish a Pennsylvania seal of biliteracy for students proficient in English and another language on their high school diploma. Really haven't thought that one out. HB 1849 is a sports bill. SB 999 would require seizure recognition training for all school nurses and staff with direct student contact. We call that an unfunded mandate, even though it's good stuff. HB 1829 requires annual evaluations for Title IX compliance of all athletes. SB 922 is private academic school licensing, and HR 318 is pulling property tax at the IU level and redistributing on average daily membership, which will not help us. And HB 1864 is about check-ins at cyber and charter schools. They need to check in once a week online if this bill goes through. So yay there. Let me get to this other thing because it was very interesting. Here you go. So in the 25-26 legislative season, 302 educational bills were brought to the floor. Of those 302, 56 went through education, 31 passed one chamber, 4 went to the other chamber, so DNR, 1 became law. 1 out of 302. Right? We're doing something wrong. Right? You do not throw 302 things up against the wall and get 1. Okay? So there you go. That is the end of my report. Sorry. What? But what?
But isn't the Department of Education slowly dismantling?
That's on the federal.
That's on the federal side, but it's gonna, don't worry, it's coming over.
Yeah.
Because it's a ripple effect. So once they break it up, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have to find alignment in the state. Because whatever they adjust to federally, the state's gonna have to say, okay, how do we align with this? So it's gonna be a lot of movement. We don't even know what's to come. And the sad thing about it is now you're hitting education. You've already, the whole, sounds crazy, but like the whole food stamp issue, past that issue, right? Now you're hitting education. Now it's to the point where not only are some kids may be facing hunger issues, you're also now hitting the fact of how can the kid even be able to come? They're not going to be able to come to school where we feed them. You see what I'm saying? Like this situation, it gets deeper, I know.
How do you learn if you're
You can't
hungry?
eat.
Right? Stealing.
But
Crimes will go up, death will go up, sickness will go up.
and it also gives kids a mindset. It puts them in a bad mindset. If what's going to happen, well, I hope it doesn't happen, but if I can't feed a kid, right, can't come to school, they're not getting enough food to eat. They come to school to eat. Kids are just going to say, yo, I'm going to go get my own money. I'm going to go get my own money. I'm going to start working. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we're at. And it's such a sad situation to see this. And this is why I want to urge people. That's it. We need to start running for these political positions. And I've been saying this since I've been sitting here as a board of director. We have to run. I cannot stress this enough. You have to run. And it's just getting to the point of it's nothing else for us to really do, because we are the people that aren't sitting in these seats are the people that have the mind to be able to do the work for the people. And right now, the people that are out there, I'm not necessarily saying that they're not for the people, but clearly what they're about to impact the whole country with this nonsense. So it's just a sad situation. And I don't know. I really don't know where we're going. But all we can do is stay prayed up and stay positive and do the best we can with what we have. And that's what we're going to do. Try to keep our doors open. All right. Thank you, Jen, for that good report, but sad report, sad the things that are going on. Old business, there is no old business. New business, there is no new business. Public comment on non-agenda items. Let's hear it, guys. Come on to the podium. Miss Fitty, first of all, we're happy to see you. Miss Fitty is a former board of director, representative from East Lansdowne. You can come to the podium and speak.
I'm glad to be here tonight. I've been attending a lot of meetings in regards to what we're talking about the budget. It's wrong. I don't care what side you're on, it's wrong. They got to work together. But my problem here tonight is when you talk about the college coming in, we need trade schools to come into. Because I know my boys, I could not afford college. So one boy went to Delaware County for 2 years, got his, what he called his numbers, and went in trade school, and now he works for SEPTA. Other boy that couldn't afford college went right to Conrail. They both work with the railroad. Knock on wood, they're doing good. There's just a few things I want to bring up. Autism. I plan to meet with the DCIU in regards to a couple parents that came to me about autistic children. And the reason why I know a lot about that, I have a granddaughter who's autistic. We have them in our school, like just say if you have 5 children in a class, they must have 1 person per child. That's the state guideline. Do we have that here? Or do we have, like, hypothetically, do we have a school in our district just for autism children to go to? Or do we have to send them out privately?
I will let Dr. B. Coates answer that. Can he hear you? Okay, he can hear you. Yeah.
You wanted to know, do we have to send it out privately?
Yeah.
I do not believe that we're required to do that, but we can look into that further.
So we send them out.
Hold on. I don't know if you heard her question, Dr. B. Coates. Fiddy, can you ask your question again?
My question is, in regards to autism children, may it be boy or girl, classes that are in place in our district to meet their needs, or do we have to send them out to a private association school through DCIU to help these children?
We do have autism classes in place. Every student that may require special education services, it is dictated by the student's IEP, which is their individualized education plan.
Okay. So we do have something in the school then.
Also, Mr. Harris. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
did you-
And Dr. Harris is also in the room, and I would ask him to follow up with you directly after the meeting if there's a
Okay.
specific question that you
And
have.
bear
but
with me, I am totally deaf.
Dr. Harris, he's going to talk to you after the meeting. He works directly with this, so he can be able to talk to you after the meeting.
Okay, I'm not gonna keep these long, please. Buses, our school buses, I put in bumps in our borough in East Lansdowne because people are racing down the street, especially in the school zone. That's a no-no.
Okay,
The buses are going just as fast.
okay,
And I'm taking numbers down.
okay.
702, whatever. They got to slow down because the kids, young bucks and all, they're not looking to cross the street and see who's coming.
Okay.
I'm on my step every day, every night. And this is why people approach me, because people say, why do people come to you? Because I'm very visible.
Okay, Mr. Dean's heard that. He's notating that.
Okay, expulsion hearings.
Yes.
Once they get expelled, are they going, they stay out for a year? Or do we don't have our own ombudsman program no more?
We do. They
We
are
do?
mostly, they are usually placed with the personal, the PLC, the online, the William Penn's online education system. But expulsions are not necessarily a year. Anything over 10 days is considered an expulsion. So each student's situation is going to be unique.
Because I know legally they have to do 4 hours a day of classwork. Then we had
You
a
have to
buzzing
do more.
program in Darby. We no longer have that. Do we have a building anymore?
Yes, we have the PLC. The PLC, that's what he's trying to tell you.
What's a PLC?
Personalized learning community, and it is
Excuse me.
it's a virtual setting. It's the personalized learning community.
Okay. I know our budget stinks. It really does. Are we borrowing money from a bank to help oversee some of our budget?
We've already done that, Ms. Fiddy. We just took out a loan. The last loan was for how much? 10 million? 9.9. We cannot continue to take out because what's happening is we have to pay this back in such a large lump sum and it's killing our taxpayers.
And what is the interest rate they're giving you on that loan?
I can't, about 8.
It's about 8, but
Eight.
in lieu of a state budget, what are we to do?
You're not arguing with me. I've been on the board for 12 years. I get it. I get it. Now I see here with 202, what does this mean in regards to eligibility for non-residents?
Okay,
There are reasons that a child would attend school here and not be a resident. Military, homeless, etc. So that's what, right, Mrs. Roberts?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? So,
Okay, they can live anywhere, but as long as they have a military and something like that, we're gonna teach them.
Madam President,
can I get a copy of them
You can go
special?
on, they're online. It's the policy, this 202, you can go online. See, if you go to the agenda online, you can click right on it and the policy is right there. So you can be able to see what we're making updates to.
Well, let me tell you, I had my grandson teacher, he just taught me 2 years ago how to FaceTime him. So I'll get him over and say, yo, show me how to do this, because I am not I am totally
I
computer.
understand. I understand.
Madam President, a 3-minute time.
Yeah, I
Got you.
think-
I got it. Thank you. Also, Ms. Biddy, we're happy that you're here, but we have a 3-minute.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna head out.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Ms. Biddy.
Did you time me? How long might it take?
My vice president, she times, so while someone's talking, she does the timing. That's
What was
why.
the time?
No, it wasn't. She's online.
Dr. Harris
She's online.
is going to talk to you right after.
No
about,
problem. It's good to see you.
I was gonna bring Tony Reality's gavel.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Have a good night. All right, are there any? Okay, yes,
Yes.
hello.
Good evening. My name is Angela Emilio, and I'm currently the kindergarten ASP teacher. ASP is Autistic Support at Evans Elementary. I want to start off with when I became a special education teacher, it was because I wanted to make a difference in the lives of the kids that I work with. I knew there would be challenging days, and I've always been willing to take those hard days if it meant that my students would make progress. That's why I do this job. I'm here for the kids, only for the kids. Right now, things have reached a point where it's not just challenging, it's unsustainable. We've been short a teacher since the first day of school in September. And please, I don't want anyone to say that this was unexpected because of student numbers. We knew this was coming. We knew last year, we were fully aware that a larger than usual group of students with autism would be transitioning from early intervention into our district. These are some of the most vulnerable and high need students in our district, and yet they are the ones who keep going without. We cut several PCA agencies last year, and I have to say, some of them were amazing agencies that had amazing people that were brought to us. And instead, we went with one that is providing us with staff that are here to do anything but make a difference in these children's lives. There's a reason the state of Pennsylvania caps these classrooms at 8 students. That's the environment where these students learn, where they thrive. Since September, I've had 14 students in my classroom. 14, 14. That's almost double the state ratio. It is not fair to the staff, and it's absolutely not fair to these kiddos that I have sitting in front of me daily. To make matters worse, we are also without a speech and language therapist, and we have been since last March, when ours went out on maternity leave. That means our students have not received a single session of speech services and communication supports to express themselves and access their learning. Going this long without that support is completely and totally unacceptable and a violation of what they're legally entitled to receive. Last year, I stood here at the same podium and spoke to you all about compliance concerns. Sadly, those issues have only gotten worse. I take extreme pride in staying on top of my paperwork and documentation. This year, it is almost nearly impossible when documents that were started over the summer for incoming early intervention students are still incomplete, causing me not to be able to move forward with my IEPs. I would like to invite each and every one of you on the board to please come spend just an hour in my classroom to see what my students are capable of, what we do every single day, day in and day out, and what we're up against. I understand there's a teacher shortage, but my question to you, the board, to you, Dr. Becoats, what are we doing as a district to recruit and retain teachers and therapists for these classrooms, for these kiddos that have high needs that are our babies? Where is the push to get these kids what they need and are entitled to? What's happening right now is not sustainable for the staff and is absolutely not fair for these kids. These are our babies. These are our future. Yes, they have special needs, but they deserve better. They deserve just as much as everyone else that stands up here and talks. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to welcoming you, each and every one of you, in my classroom.
Can I get your first name again when you said your
Angela Emilio,
and what was your title? That's all I forgot.
autistic support teacher.
Autistic support. Thank you. Thank you. Stay up, Ms. Emilio, because I'm going to have Dr. Becoats address some of the concern or answer something that you just some questions you just asked. Dr. B. Coates?
Yes, so I do remember Ms. Emilio coming to the board last year. And I do know that that staff did go out to the school and had conversations with the teacher about the concerns. And it was my understanding that some of those concerns were addressed in terms of having some additional support in her classroom. For this year, we are continuing to work with various agencies in an effort to get qualified staff in the classrooms. That continues to be a challenge in our district. Not making an excuse, I'm just sharing what is actually happening. I did sign off over probably 2 or 3 weeks ago for our special education department to contract or extend contracts to current staff members that could help with completing IEPs that we still need to complete, or evaluations that still need to be completed. I do know that Dr. Harris is in the room, and I would ask that he follow up directly with you to let you know what the status of that item is. And so those are the things that we have done. We continue to work with the PCA agencies in an effort to make sure that we have the right people in our classrooms. That continues to be a challenge. But we are continuing to work on identifying and making sure that we have the right people in place. I do believe that we have a better process in place of identifying PCAs to support us. They do go through extensive training prior to coming into the classroom to support teachers as well as the students. So I would just ask that Dr. Harris follow up with you after the comments that I've provided regarding the items that you shared.
Awesome. Dr. Because with regard to the speech and language therapist or Dr. Harris, is that an active position that's out there? Okay, that's what I just wanted to ask.
Yes, all positions are actively posted on our internal employment website. They will remain open until filled. In the interim, we are actively pursuing certified credentialed staff to be contracted on an interim basis until internal candidates get the identified staff.
Okay.
So
Miss-
we approve all these, say substitutes for OT, PT, speech therapy, and PT. Has one of them not been available since March?
Well, they have to have the credentials, right?
No, but with hostels, like we approve as needed people, PRN people come. None of them has a speech therapist since March?
I can only speak to
Yeah.
recently. Recently, a lot of agencies are struggling to fill positions. What has been offered so far is virtual opportunities that does not meet the current needs of our students.
Nonverbal students can't virtually be taught.
Correct. So we are actively pursuing with a variety of agencies, and we will continue to do so until these vacancies are filled. And again, the internal positions that have already been approved by the board will remain open. And we are actively recruiting for those as well.
Okay, so I guess my next question would be with regard to that. I understand we're looking, right? When do we say, okay, we can't provide for these 14 and we have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to understand where we stop and say, okay, they're not getting, because we want to stay in compliance. That's the biggest thing. And I know you're helping us with that. So, and I know you just got here too. So you only know but so much. But when do we say, hey, this is just not, we're going to have to figure out another way or another opportunity?
I think that's a matter for the cabinet to discuss.
Okay.
And or with our council on.
Okay, awesome. And with regard to the comment that she made that we kind of did not pick the right agency, can we, no, Ms. Milio said that we picked the agency that,
And I'll gladly give you an example. We hear, the staff, we keep hearing that they're extensively trained, they're given directions. I have signs in my classroom. We don't use our phone in the classroom. They sit on their phones. They sit on their earbuds. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. They do what they want because in their eyes, they're not employed by us.
Got you.
They don't listen to our principal. They don't listen to me.
Okay.
And they're certainly not helping the students.
Okay.
And,
Well,
and
thank
so,
you.
excuse me, one of the things that I have, when I have witnessed that, I have addressed it. I've also specifically spoken with the principal of Evans Elementary School last week when I was in the building and said, if there are issues going on, we have provided principals with the information that they need to appropriately address that situation. There is also someone in our district office that can be contacted, and if people are not doing what we're expecting them to do, they will be immediately removed from our district. I have no problems with doing that. But also realize that when we do that, then we're still not in compliance because that child does not have somebody in the room. But I would rather have someone doing the correct work for the money that we are paying them. So I will follow up with the principal tomorrow. And if there are people in your room who are not doing what they need to do, they will be removed immediately.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Milio, and thank you very much, Dr. Harris. All right, and if you, he'll follow up with you, okay? Are there any other comments, questions, or concerns for non-agenda items? Yes, Ms. Faber. Oh, we have a hand up? Okay. Ms. Faber, you have the floor.
Hi, Marie Louise Faber, Lansdowne resident. Can I, sort of like beyond my comments, so there was a lot on the DCIU update. Can we get that in writing?
Oh,
It seems like,
Ms. Ivory, you heard
yeah,
her.
she was
And we can
reading
get a copy
something.
of the.
Yes, I can definitely share out with Dr. Picos. I'm not sure which format we can send it out, but I will share it to see how we can send it out to everyone to have access to. But I can also email you a copy of it as well, Ms. Faber. But
Yeah, that
I
would
would
be
like to
great.
figure out how we can put it out publicly as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I know there's been a lot going on. Last month's meeting was really busy. I just wanted to follow back that some of this does not repeat itself, specifically the equality across our after-school programs. There was programs, specifically sports, that were started at the beginning of the school year. I realize some of them were not contractual. I don't even want to get into that. I personally, sorry, I don't care as a parent. That's not what I saw. I saw kids, I saw cheerleaders having after-school practice. I saw my own kids and their friends not having theater, not having band. I addressed this in spring when we knew this was going to be an issue as part of the budget. I said, are these going to be across the board stricken, or are we going to pick out the sports, the football, right? Do we have priority over some after school programs more than others? I was told explicitly no, and it happened anyway. So I just wanted to put that out there that I really like not to have that discussion again. That's all. The other two things I have are sort of announcements and good things. I don't have anything too negative this week or this month. One is my daughter is leading a STEM club at the Penwood Middle School. So anybody out there that has middle school students and are interested in learning a little bit more about science to come out, there should be information flyers hanging up at the school. This is her Girl Scout Silver Award. We have wonderful students. I realize this is my own, but there's lots out in the buildings that are doing these things. So this has been brought up before. Lean on our students, on our parents that have these skills, right? It's not just our teachers that have to lead these after-school programs and get materials in front of our students. There's community members out there as well. And then the other one, theater interest group meeting was mentioned for tomorrow. And I put out to all the adults in the room, community members, parents, wherever you fall, we need stage crew help to get this production off the ground and support our students. So if you want to help, contact me. There's lots of ways to find me. I'm around. But we need help for builders, painters, sewers, whatever is out there. Thank you.
Awesome. I think, Ms. Faber, we need to get that on our website to get people know and get social media. Deidre, if we can get some social media behind that and start, there's a lot of alumni. I know if I have a flyer, I could post in the alumni group and people will come out probably to help out in any way. But if we can get builders, like now you're being specific about what you need. So I think we could send a flyer out and post it and get that going and try to
Okay.
get more help from the
Thank you.
community. One thing I wanted to say too is, you said to lean on the community with regard to like the after school programs and help. We just have to be careful too, because we do have a union. So with that, we can't always just bring somebody from the outside in, even though, and ask a community member, because teachers will sometimes feel slighted over that. So we also have to be mindful of that as well. But I understand what you're saying. It's not hard to ask for help, but we also have to be mindful in the way that we word it and the way that we bring people in,
Right.
because we do have a union representation.
I totally understand. And honestly, I would not like to have to come in and do this and, have my time. I would happily give this over to a teacher. The problem was that this club was not going to happen without me mentoring the club.
Gotcha.
Because of the lack of supplementals.
Gotcha.
So, whether it's that problem to fix in, or even if we did have teachers that were available and money to pay their supplementals, maybe they don't have the expertise to lead. We have a lot of wonderful parents across the school district. So just to keep that out there.
Thank you. No,
Yeah,
thank you
definitely.
for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Are there any other comments? Oh, Ms. Tax. That's another one? Just Ms. Tax.
Hello, Ms. Tax.
Okay, Ms.
POC. Can you-
Hello, Ms. Tax. You're unmuted now. We can hear you.
Yes, hello, Ms. Tax, PLC. Two things. Number one, I guess I'm just kind of a little confused how we're painting the PLC as an ombudsman program. We don't just have expelled students in the PLC. That's a very small population of the PLC. We take choice students, students who want to learn online, parents who don't feel that the schools are safe. We have kids who have special needs that thrive more in a virtual environment than than in person. So I guess I'm just kind of concerned that we're painting the PLC as an place for expulsion. Is that what we're?
So Ms. Tax, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just have to explain. That's not what was stated. So Ms. Fitty asked a direct question about what happens to students once they are expunged. So we were explaining that we put them in the PLC. Now, we're not saying that's where all students are, but she wanted to know and ensure that they were receiving education. So that was the basis of her statement. So we are not painting the PLC as something for students that are getting expunged from our school, expelled. Sorry, thank you. Expelled from our school. We just want people to know that even though you get expelled, we do have opportunity for you in our PLC, depending on what the situation may be.
Yes, we do educate students in the PLC. Okay, thank you for that clarification. It just came across a different way. My second question is, I've asked this a couple times now. I know that when we used to do Zoom and you had the YouTube, all the questions and answers were available to the public and when they were answered or whatever was asked. I know I asked that now we move to the Teams. How do we access all the board meeting, like the questions and answers, like once they're posed and when they're answered, how do we see that information in that Q&A?
I would leave that response to Deirdre Abrahamson, who I believe is in the room.
So there's a link to the question and answer documents on the board page of our website, and I will make sure tomorrow that is up to date. I looked on there and it looked like the last one that was posted was October 9th, so I will ensure that those are being posted there.
And then if any answers come about, is this updated? Like, how do we know when someone poses a question, if it gets answered and it pertains to a big question, everybody's wanting probably to know? Do they get answered?
I'm going to jump in and say that it's almost like minutes. So no, it should not get and would not get updated. Like whatever happens at the meeting, there'll be a record of what happened at that meeting. But it's not a place where it's not a growing document where you then provide answers over time.
Okay, so whenever someone poses a question and they say, we'll get back to you, they just follow up with that individual so the rest of the people don't know the answer?
Exactly.
Yeah, and if the rest of people have a question, what we try to do, even how I started the meeting off, or following up, we're bringing up comments or topics that was addressed or talked about at the last meeting to be able to address the concerns from the student reps or different things that may be occurring. The teacher's contract, where are we at with that? The updates. So we're doing the best we can with trying to update you every single meeting on every piece of information that is asked in a previous meeting.
Okay, thank you. I guess just before, just real quick, when we would do questions, like when people would put questions in the chat, they were answered publicly, as a public document. So we know, you know what I mean? Like kind of, I don't know, it's a school board meeting, like, information should be available. When people are putting questions in the chat and if they're being answered, they kind of should be answered on the record, correct?
Well, this is just me. This is your, solicitor talking. William Penn actually does more of this than just about any other school district in the Commonwealth. Like most school board meetings are not actually question and answer sessions. They are typically someone in admin will get back to you. If your solicitor had his way, there'd be a lot more of that, even at these meetings.
Yeah.
William Penn, though, does have a pretty robust, transparent practice of allowing questions and recording the dialogue around those questions, both at the meeting where it happens and then in follow-up in subsequent meetings. Do they get every question answered? No, of course not. Is there always a prompt follow-up? I'm sure not, but they do a lot more of it than other school districts for whatever that's worth.
And I want to say we're different because we know our community. So at the end of the day, we adjust to our community. That's why we give time to talk, more time than usual boards. That's why we are transparent and have dialogue, because if you go to other board meetings, nobody's talking to you. They're just saying yay or nay, and they keep it moving. So I just want you to understand that we are giving so much in this. So we're doing the best we can with what we can do at this time.
Madam President, that's past the 3-minute time.
Thank you very much. All right. At this time, if there's no, we do have one more.
My name is Quinn White. I'm in the 11th grade and I live in the borough of Lansdowne. I just wanted to take a moment to thank the members of the board for hearing my peers and I's concerns at the previous board meeting. I know that it will take time to cover everything that was mentioned, but so far that there has been progress in the areas my peers and I mentioned at the last board meeting, such as a one-to-one plan for the Chromebooks, which makes it easier for students to be able to do their work. The added seating for students in classrooms, the updated bus stops for students to make it easier for them to make it to and from VOTEC campuses, and the progress in adding after-school curriculum activities. But I did have a question about the Help With Club. Do you know if there's like any updates on that and if we're gonna get a sponsor or an advisor for that?
Is this the one for the team? Or for
It's
what?
No.
for students to be able to get help with their homework. and
Okay, Dr.
classwork.
Bico's got it. Go ahead.
Right. So that is, it's my understanding that that was being led by the school principal, but I will follow up with Mr. Chicano and ask him to make sure that he responds to the student body in reference to the Help With Club. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep, sure. I'm gonna send him an email right now.
Okay, and lastly, I would personally like to thank you all for making my voice heard when it came down to my concerns with inappropriate behavior from security guards at the Green Avenue campus. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Quinn. And it's interesting, Quinn, we're meeting you now. Student reps, you're like, where were you, man? You need to be up here. So, but thank you so much for voicing your concern, and thank you for your bravery and being proud. Just being prideful, coming out speaking about things that were going on, and we appreciate you. So thank you very much, and thanks for the follow-up.
Ms. Boykins? Ms.
Yes.
Boykins, yes, I just wanted to let Quinn know that, and all students know that you always have a voice, and make sure that your voice is heard. This administration will always listen to what you have to say, and we will try to address your concerns as best as we can. We don't always get it right, but we will sit and listen to you, and we will try to address your concerns. So thank you very much for setting an example of advocacy.
Thank you, Dr. Bico. And with that being said, there's no more. Did you put your hand up?
No, I was just.
I was about to say, no. Yeah, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.